Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Rama
Hare Rama Nam Ram
Krishna
Ram
Chaitanya
Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Vasadi Bhakta Vrinda Hare Guru Hare Guru Hare Guru Shri Radhe Shri Radhe Hare Hare Namo Krishna Hare Hare Namo Parvati Rama Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nam Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, assembled devotees ki jai. Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha. Thank you so much for joining mid-morning chanting. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. May I know who all joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, so glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirti Dasundari Dasi.
Hare Krishna Kirtida Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Nice to hear your sweet voice, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your beautiful chanting early morning, mid-morning.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Yes, Srila Prabhupada, thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for being there on the call. Very, very happy to see you. This is Preeti Vilas from
Hare Krishna, Priti Vilasni Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your sweet association from Atlanta. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Balvrinda's mother Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, early morning, mid morning, and giving your sweet association. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to announce their names? Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisance, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Gauranga, and all. Shashidhar is joining from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shashidhar Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining every day and chanting so beautifully. It is encouraging all of us. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves before we start the recording? Okay, if nobody wants to introduce, we can start the recording. Yeah, I'll read the quote, Mataji. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi Khanda, 11th chapter, 5th verse to 12th verse. Before I hand over the call to Mataji, I wanted to read today's Srila Prabhupada quote. Just want to share that. Yeah. 23rd August. We should not eat more than required. Eating, sleeping, meeting, all these are material demands. The more we minimize, then that is good, but not at the risk of health, because we have to work for Krishna. So we must maintain our health nicely. Montreal, August 23rd, 1968. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I will pause the recording here. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves before Mataji joining? Okay, we can wait for Mataji. I will chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radhika, Kasturi, mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, mataji, for joining and giving your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on Chaitanya Bhagavata Khanda, 11th chapter, 5th to 12th verses. Mataji, thank you. Please take over the call. Hari Bol. Nice to see you. Beautiful sari.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. I'll start with the prayers. Om Madhyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamahyam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Devi Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschalta Deshatarine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhana Devi Daityaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadaya Shri Rupanuga Bhakti Tita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostude Namaste Gauravani Shri Mutaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasutanta Dvandaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Shakshat Vairagya Mutaye Vipralambara Sampodaya Padambujaya Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugaya Varayate Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. All right, so let's get started with our verses for today. Before I begin the class, I would like to pay humble obeisances to all of you on the call. You Vaishnavas have to bless me so that I'm able to speak the relevant words of Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas. Hare Krishna. So we are entering into this beautiful chapter, and we are going to see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit's pastimes are, especially. Sarvadaya Parihasa Murti Vidya Bhale Sahasrapadu Sange Yebe Prabhuchale. As the Lord walked with thousands of students by the strength of his knowledge, he entertained everyone with his sharp wit. Sarvanavadvipa Brahme Tribhuvana Pati Pushtakera Rupekare Priya Saraswati. 6th verse. Vishwambara, the Lord of three worlds, travelled all over Navadvip, holding his hand, his beloved Saraswati, in the form of a book. Commentary by our beloved Acharya, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. In the form of books, Mahalakshmi Narayani, the goddess of speech, always remained in the lotus hands of the Lord, Gaura Narayana, and thus fulfilled the meaning of Lord's name, the husband of the goddess of speech. Navdvipe hena nahi panditera nama yei aishe bhuji deka prabhura vyakyana. There was no scholar throughout Navadvip who could understand Nimai's explanations. So you can understand how scholarly Nimai was, right? Nobody could understand his explanations. So that scholarly Nimai Pandit. Sabe ke Gangadasa Mahabhagavan, Sabe ka Gangadasa Mahabhagyavan, Yara Tani Prabhu Kare Vidyara Adan. The Lord discussed his explanations only with the most fortunate Gangadasa Pandit. Now, if you look at Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lord actually took the lessons of grammar from his teacher Gangadasa Pandita and became very expert in commenting upon grammar. There's also another purport from Adi Leela in Chaitanya Charitamrita 15.5. It says, when the Lord was studying grammar at the place of Gangadas Pandit, he would immediately learn grammatical rules and definitions. But simply by hearing them once, just by hearing them once, he was able to memorize and by heart it. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura says that the Lord was given lessons by a teacher named Vishnu and another teacher named Sudarshana. Later on, when he grew up a little bit, he was under the care of Gangadas Pandit, who taught him the grammar of high standard. Any serious student about studying the Sanskrit language should first learn the grammar. It is said that simply to finish studying Sanskrit grammar takes 12 years, but once one learns the grammatical rules and regulations very nicely, all other scriptures or subject matters in Sanskrit are extremely easy to understand, for Sanskrit grammar is the gateway to education. So those who actually know Sanskrit and are able to interpret the verses and be able to understand everything Sanskrit in terms of grammar rules and definitions, they will be able to enjoy the subject matter more than anybody else. So because that is the native language of all our books, isn't it? So when we know the native language of our books and when we are able to relish that from that nativeness perspective, then you will be able to relish it more, which is what being conveyed here. Of course, I'm no way eligible to even say this because I have no clue about Sanskrit grammar or definitions of it. Sakala samsari teki bole tanya danya yenandana yahara tahara konu dainya. All the materialistic people said, the parents of this boy are certainly glorious. What can they be lacking? This is how the people of Navadvip actually praised Nimai Pandit. So when a child is brought up very well, the glories obviously goes to the parents. And that is what is being conveyed here. The parents of this boy, they are all certainly very glorious. What can they lack? They can lack nothing because they have such a fortunate boy who can just who's just so scholarly, and nobody is even able to understand the explanations that he gives. So this kind of a boy is born to these parents. So the parents are glorious. Yeteka prakriti deka mandana samana pashadi dekaya yena yama vidyamana. All the ladies considered the Lord to be attractive as Cupid, and the atheists considered him as death personified. So Emaraj, he was attractive because these are all atheistic people. That is why it is said like that. And here, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura has given a beautiful commentary to explain what is the meaning of this verse. In this material world, please hear attentively if you can. In this material world, the men are enjoyers and the women are objects of enjoyment. So we always have somebody who enjoys and somebody who's the object of enjoyment. In other words, the women are enjoyed by men and men are enjoyed by women. An enjoyer enjoys his object of enjoyment with what? With his senses. He also brings up a point to say both the male and the female enjoys the material objects through the jnanendriyas or the knowledge acquiring senses. What are the knowledge acquiring senses? It is eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. And they also enjoy the objects through their karmendriyas or the working senses. The working senses are hands, legs, speech, genitals and the anus. Now, Gaurasundara, he is directly Lord Krishna. Therefore, he is the abode of all beauty, surpassing millions of cupids. Gaurasundara, very important point is coming up. Please listen very carefully. Gaurasundara is never an object of enjoyment for mundane women. That is why he cannot be the object of worship for the Gauranagaris. So the Gauranagaris are the Apasampradaya people. They think they are Apasiddhanta. They have actually a love for Mahaprabhu as husbands. They are the ladies of Nadia. So that is actually condemned here. When a living entity becomes self-realized, the Madana Mohana form of the Gaura Sundara manifests within the heart. Although the conditioned souls who identify themselves as women may consider Gaura Sundara as the object of enjoyment, Gaura Hari does not fulfill their prayers. It may hold good for Krishna, but not Gaura Sundara. He cannot be the object of enjoyment because he actually presents himself as a devotee. He comes in the mood of a devotee. So, and here Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has explained what the mood should be. The moods of master and servant are present in this material world. For the living entities to think themselves as masters of material nature rather than considering themselves as servants of the Lord is an impediment in their constitutional duties of devotional service. It's actually an impediment. When we actually consider ourselves as a master, then we are not able to imbibe the mood of a servant because we think we are a master. And that is actually an impediment to your progress in devotional service. Sri Gaura Sundara has personally displayed to the living entities the prime example of how to be the servant of the Supreme Lord and thus remove the enjoying mood from their conditioned minds. So he actually is giving us live example as to how to be in this mood of servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. And thus he is trying to remove the mentality, the enjoying mentality of us. This conditioned mind has a mentality to enjoy all the time. And Prabhu teaches us by his personal example how to actually develop this mood of servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. That is why the followers of Gaura Hari cannot accept him as Nagara, who Nagara means the enjoyer of women. Lord Gaura Sundara never demonstrated that he was under the control of any material conditions in his pastimes. He never demonstrated that. But even if someone out of great misfortune forgets that he is the eternal servant of the servitor God and thinks himself to be the object of service, Sri Gaura Sundara still awakens his service attitude towards Gaura Krishna by removing such evil propensities. This is the merciful nature of Mahaprabhu, isn't it? Mahaprabhu is definitely willing to help us, purify us. So again, it's better to consider Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has come actually in the mood of Radha Bhav to taste the sweetness of Radha. So that is what is the mood we have to develop by taking him as a personal example. How he depicted the mood of servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Next verse. Pandita sakala deke na brahaspati mata deke sabhi yara yena mati. All learned scholars considered him equal to Brahaspati. In this way, everyone appreciated the Lord according to their own mentality. This is how they appreciated. Oh yeah, he's such a learned person, and for them, learned is Brahaspati. So they all appreciated the Lord according to their own mentality. This is what is the translation. Next verse, last verse for today. Deki Vishwambara Rupa Sakala Vaishnava Harisha Vishada Hai Mane Bhava Sabha. Seeing Vishwambara's attractive form, the Vaishnavas felt both jubilation and lamentation. So, very, very beautiful verses that we have seen from the Chaitanya Bhagavat. And now we are definitely going to enjoy and relish some of the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, also clarifying this point upwards that has been discussed by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So first, let's pay our obeisances. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Now, I would actually like to go over the theme by actually entering into the 4th chapter of Adi Leela, which is nothing but, that is again from Chaitanya Charitamrita, written by our, the 4th chapter of Adi Leela, which is the secret reasons for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. So now, specifically, I'll be going into the verses from the 4th chapter, 38, 39, 40, and 41. This Chaitanya Charitamrita, for those who don't know, is written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. All right. So the 38th verse. Kona karane be haila avatar mana yuga dharma kala haile se kale milana. Translation. When the Lord, for a special reason, expressed a desire to descend to earth, at the same time, it became necessary to proclaim religion of his age. 39. Dui hetu avatari lana bhakta gana apane ashvade prema nama sankitana. Thus, for two purposes, the Lord came to this world with the devotees and enjoyed the nectar of prema by participating in the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. 40th verse. Sei dware achandale kitana sanchare nama prema mala ganti paraila samsara. He distributed kirtan even amongst the untouchables, the chandalas, and he wove a garland of the holy name and prema and put it on the entire world. Can you believe who else could be merciful as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? 41. Ei mata bhakta bhava kari ankira agnikara apaniya chari bhakti karila prachara. Translation. Thus, imbued with the mentality of a devotee, he preached bhakti, devotional service, and he himself immersed in the service of the Lord. Ei mata bhakti bhava kari angikara apaniya chari bhakti karila prachara. He himself actually imbibed the mood and the service of the Lord. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. And now let's understand some of the comments from Srila Prabhupada and also try to correlate it with the verses that we heard from Chaitanya Bhagavat as far as today. So when Rupa Goswami actually met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Pragya, which is Allahabad now, he offered him respect by saying, "Oh Lord Chaitanya, you're the most merciful avatar of Krishna, and you've come here generously to distribute this love of Krishna." So what is the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? The mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to endow everyone with the love. Love is the highest achievement of human life, isn't it? Lord Chaitanya, he did not invent a new religion as some believe. Usually, religions exist to help a person understand, realize God, in whom people see, okay, the Lord is there and he is the master of everyone. He is the guardian of the universe. However, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's divine mission was to endow everyone with what? With love of Godhead. Anyone who accepts God as supreme can start chanting what? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then what can they achieve as a result of chanting of those holy names of the Lord? They can actually achieve transcendental love. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most merciful. Only now himself can bestow such devotional service. So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, if you look at it, Krishna teaches how to surrender to the Supreme Personal Godhead. This person who has surrendered, now he can take the next step. And what is the next step? The next step is to learn and love him. Thus, Krishna conscious movement, which was founded by Lord Chaitanya, is primarily meant for whom? It is primarily meant for those who are convinced that the existence of the Supreme Lord, they are definitely convinced. Yes, Supreme Lord, he is the master of everything. He is the one who bestows creation, maintenance, and the destruction. So they are convinced about this fact. And the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after this, okay, you learn about the greatness of the Lord, then you actually understand the sweetness of the Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching people to bring the transcendental loving service to God into all of people's lives. This is a great mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is what is conveyed in the purport of Srila Prabhupada. He also brings up a point to say he is Krishna himself, who is in the form of a devotee who teaches service to himself and others. By taking a position of a devotee and appearing in the eternal form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord has manifested all his wonderful qualities to the world. And he also says, the conditioned soul can never reach the absolute personality of Godhead by his own strength. So that Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this goal easily attainable by everyone. This is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We cannot achieve, you can say, yes, I chanted so many rounds. I did this, I did that. I did so much of preaching. I did so much of distribution, but nothing depends on our hands. The mercy has to descend down. And that is what we are looking for. And that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us. It is through his mercy that we are able to understand what does love of God mean. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known. Otherwise, we would not have got Krishna Mahamantra, isn't it? So this is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is being clarified in the purport. Now, Swarupa Damodar Goswami, he explains that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself in the frame of Radharani. Because as I told you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has Radha Bhav. He's Radha and Krishna rolled into one. So Lord Chaitanya is eager to know the attractiveness of Krishna's transcendental love affairs. I don't know who's on
Muted, Mataji, muted.
Not on mute, but whoever is not on mute, you can please mute. Thank you. So he is it me? I think Shimnya.
No, Mataji, I'm muted.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. All right. So he does not want to remember that he is Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he does not want to remember that he is Krishna because he wants to be in the place of who? Radharani. So this must be forgotten. So there is now, we are coming into the main section, which is we talk Gaura Nagaris, isn't it? This is clarified here to say that this is another classification of all devotees. They are Nadiya Nagaris or Gaura Nagaris. And what do they portray? They portray the feelings of gopis towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not realizing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has placed himself as the position of one who gives pleasure, not one who enjoys. A very important point here, devotees. We should not confuse. Again, we understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different than Krishna, but what is the mood of him? He is come in the position of a devotee, the greatest devotees of all. He is taking the mood of, he's having this Radha Bhav, trying to understand the sweetness of Radha. So when we understand that, he is the one who actually gives pleasure, isn't it? And he is not supposed to be enjoyed, not one who enjoys. Krishna is the enjoyer, but not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the point that we need to understand. He aspired the position of a devotee of Lord Krishna and did not want to be Krishna himself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come here for a specific purpose, and we have to understand what is the goal, right? He has come to give the love of Godhead to everyone. Help us understand how to get to that goal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not recognize the Gaura Nagaris who claim to possess the truth. The interpretations of the Gaura Nagaris and the like are only hindrance to the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are just mere hindrance. Undoubtedly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. We have to understand that, but at the same time, he is non-different from Srimati Radharani. So now, what is the conclusion of this? So the conclusion is that he should not be hindered under the guise of service from enjoying Vipralamba Bhav, the feelings that he, out of his innermost motives, took over from Srimati Radharani. He is trying to be in that mood and be in that mood of separation, right? Vipralamba Bhav is the feeling that Srimati Radharani has towards Lord Krishna. A worldly person should not interfere in the realm of transcendental relationships. Otherwise, what will happen when the worldly person interferes in these transcendental relationships? The Lord is definitely going to be displeased. So such deviations in devotional service should be always guarded against. We have to always be conscious. What is the mood with which we look at the Supreme Lord? Here, if you look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come as a devotee to help us understand what is love of God. And he has personally, by example, shown us the greatest devotee having the mood of Srimati Radharani and trying to enjoy the sweetness of Srimati Radharani and showing us the feelings of Vipralamba Bhav and helps us understand the highest goal a person can actually go for. So real devotee. So if you look at Gauranagaris, they are false devotees. They are
Hare Krishna, is it breaking for everyone or for me only?
It's
No.
breaking, Mataji.
Yeah, it's breaking.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I think she's frozen.
Yeah, she'll come back. Mataji, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes. Mataji, can you hear?
Yes.
Sorry, Mataji's. All right, I'm actually joining from phone. I don't know if this is okay. This is better, Mataji?
It's good, Mataji.
Yes, perfect, Mataji. No problem.
Okay. All right. So the real devotee is somebody who doesn't disturb Krishna. So Srila Rupa Goswami talked about this principle of Anukulyena, isn't it? Anukulya means we do whatever is favorable for devotional service, we do it. And anyone who acts otherwise is doing pratikul things. And then we saw the example of Kamsa. What did Kamsa do? He hated Krishna intensely and thought of him all the time, but thought of Krishna as an enemy. This is what Kamsa did. And so we should always be conscious of Anukulyena and then Pratikulyena. So avoid as much as possible that are things that are unfavorable for Krishna consciousness, whatever it is, be it association, be it books, be it hearing lectures. If it is not Anukul, please don't go for it. Whatever is Anukul, that is what we should go ahead and do. We should actually take a conscious effort. It's not going to come spontaneous to us because we all have our likes and dislikes, isn't it? I like this, I don't like this. But it's just not about our likes and dislikes. Now we have to actually change the platform of thinking to whether Krishna likes it or whether he doesn't like it. And that is why Shastras are there. And Shastras are the one which actually help us understand what is Anikul and what is Pratikul. So this is a very important practical tip that we all can strive to understand. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as I told you, he's playing the role of Radharani. And we should actually help him stay in that mood, like Swarupa Damodar Goswami did. When he was in Gambhira, the room in Puri where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived, Swarup Damodar Goswami, he always reminded Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of Radha's feelings of separation from Krishna, which is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Lord greatly appreciated his support. Yes, this is what the Lord wants. But the Gauranagaris, on the other hand, if you look at it, they see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an enjoyer and consider themselves as the object of enjoyment. And this is never approved by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers. This is very important, dear devotees. Very important concept of Anukul and Pratikul is being taught by this particular purport. Instead of actually blessing the Gauranagaris, the Lord turns away from such imitators. No, I'm not going to look at you. You're all imitating. You're all acting under the false pretense, imitation. These fabrications are contrary to the principles of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is not recommended and this is condemned. The concept of Krishna's divine enjoyment should not be confused with the concept of separation, transcendental separation that he experiences while he occupies in the position of Srimati Radharani. So this is the point that our acharyas are trying to bring out through the purport. That is, we should not be confused. See, Krishna has his own way of enjoyment and he's the enjoyer. But when it comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is not the enjoyer. But the Gauranagaris consider him to be the enjoyer, and they consider themselves to be the object of enjoyment. So this concept should not be confused. And he has come specifically in the mood of a devotee to help us understand what is this love? What is this love of Godhead? Nobody, no other religion has taught this concept of love of Godhead, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. So we are really, really fortunate and blessed to, in fact, know about this. To even know about it is, I consider that as a blessing. And what about then to practice that? Practice the process that is being given to us. It is even more glorious, isn't it? So now, specifically, we look into these two verses from, again, I'm just repeating the same two verses of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita verses, which is 40 and 41. Saidware achandale kitana sanchare limamala ganti paraila samsara ei mata bhakta bhava kari angikara apaniya chari bhakti karila prachara. So in this verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he preached Yuga Dharma. First of all, he took himself as a mood of bhakta. He himself became a bhakta. That means he became a humble Vaishnava. He is God. He can do everything. If necessary, he can take weapon in his hands. But when it comes to the age of Kali, at the time Kali enters, at that time, he turns into the mood of a devotee. And he does it for two purposes. What are the two purposes? To taste the love for himself and to share the taste with everyone else. Isn't it? So one is, say, for example, if I'm there, I read a book. Okay, I read a book. I understand the essence of the book. The joy is there because I read the book. But the joy doubles when I actually share the knowledge of the book that I read with others as well, isn't it? So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. If you read it, just don't keep it to yourself. Share it with others. That is why Krishna consciousness needs to be shared with all the people. This is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has actually shown us this path of compassion. How to be compassionate to everyone else around us. It's just not about you alone. It's all about all of us, because the Lord wants everyone to his abode, right? So this is the mission of our movement, to spread the glories of the Lord to everyone all around us. So in the commentary, Srila Prabhupada actually emphasizes how we should also feel the same mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord himself comes us to teach, worship Krishna. How can you worship Krishna? Only if you have a certain mood, you'll be able to worship Krishna. So worshipping Krishna is not a mechanical act. It's not some physical act. Very often, we actually consider it as a ritual to worship Krishna. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us this very, very intricate method, very, very customized method for us. So it should not be mechanical. It should be filled with devotion. And this is how you have to worship Krishna. And for that, a mood of humility is needed. You have to have that new. That's why Shishtashtakam prayers are there, isn't it? Radhanath Maharaj always repeats this. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina amanadena kirtaniya sadaharihi. Always we have to invite this mood of Trinadapi Sunichena. This is the mood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given to us and he has taught us. This is how you have to worship Krishna. So the spiritual world is composed of emotions of love. And God can be worshipped only by love. Love and devotion is the main ingredient in a worship. The Bhakta Bhav that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu depicted shows this exact principle as to how to worship Krishna. And this is the mood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. And it is our duty to actually follow through this process diligently so that we'll be able to attain the end goal, which is very, very difficult. But again, he has made it easy for us. So what we have to do is we have to put in endeavor and then actually wait for mercy to descend down. Now, I thought we'll get into the, we've discussed Chaitanya Charitamrita. We've seen some purports of Srila Prabhupada that has been given by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And now I thought we can get into Chaitanya Mangal, which is written by Lochan Das Thakur. So he actually brings about a lot of interesting segments. And I'm going to take two themes from the book, and I'm going to discuss that. One is the pastime. Another is the one which actually explains interestingly about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's get into the Chaitanya Mangal written by Lochan Das Thakur and understand some of the interesting things that has been brought about in that book. So in Chaitanya Mangal, he tells a story about how Lord Chaitanya, when he was 9 years old, his father Jagannath Mishra actually decided to hold a ceremony of awarding his son with a sacred thread. We all know about sacred thread ceremony. That is what the father does is he initiates him to become a Brahmin. Usually, the ceremony means getting qualified to study Vedas. This is very important, isn't it? Because Jagannath Mishra wanted Nimai Pandit to be very scholarly, so and to be able to actually qualify himself to study the Vedas. He felt it was important for him to get initiated. So the spiritual master, or in this case Jagannath Mishra, whispers the Gayatri mantra in the ear, and the Gayatri mantra is a concentrated form of all Vedas. It gradually reveals the spiritual knowledge contained in the Vedas, and it actually reveals it in the heart of a person. So this is what the Gayatri mantra does. Without this right, a person has no eligibility to study Vedas. And so we need to understand that there are people who study Vedas without receiving Gayatri mantra. It is impossible for them to understand Vedas. So only with these words, set of meaningful sounds, the knowledge that is imparted in the Vedas will actually remain. Otherwise, eventually the meaning, if you may read it, okay, this is what the Veda says, you may read it, but then the meaning will escape out of the mind. So the traditional way to study Vedic knowledge is that I actually receive this Vedic knowledge from my spiritual master, then I chant Veda Mata Gayatri, and then I gradually begin to feel from within myself all the Vedas. What do they teach? They teach the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the meaning of this Gayatri is to only make us be consciously enlightened. So to actually go beyond the limits of this material world. This is what this Gayatri mantra helps us. So it enlightens our consciousness, and it also helps us to go beyond the limits of this material world. So so this is what was the ceremony that Jagannath Mishra actually initiated for his son. And what did he do? He actually smeared Nimai Pandit's body with turmeric. He put garlands on him. And then the Brahmins, everyone, they read Vedic mantras. And then at some point, Jagannath Mishra, he was actually whispering this Gayatri mantra into his ears. This is a very sacred mantra, as I told you. And this mantra is kept secret. And according to the tradition, the boy should approach his father or the spiritual master, accept a cup from him, like a bowl, and then he will go and walk with this cup. Once he received the mantra, he will go and walk with this cup, asking for donations. Why is this done? This is done to imbibe the mood of humility again. So disciples' vow is to be humble. So as soon as a person gets initiated, we go and beg. This begging is a sign of humility. Humility is achieved when we actually walk and beg, right? When we beg. That is why in the earlier obviously even now the sannyasis actually go door to door begging. Again, that is to help the person who, the householders, the sannyasis, by putting their lotus feet onto their houses, they make that house spiritually enlivened. And also this shows the mood of humility of the sannyasis who go beg door to door. So that is why after initiation, when the disciples are asked to go with the cup and beg, this shows the act of humility. So now, so Nimai Pandit, as I told you, he was 9 years old And he began to think at someday he's going to take sannyas. Like that, he started to think. This is what Lochindas Thakur says. Sannyasis, of course, they beg at different places, and sannyasis, they don't live at home. And at that moment, when the ceremony was taking place, Nimai Pandit began to think about how someday he will also leave the house, he will also go take sannyas, and then he will go beg door to door. This is what was going on in his mind. At that moment, what happened was hair on the body became, hair stood up, and then tears started to roll from the eyes, and from his throat, he started to say, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. This particular thunderous cry of Nimai Pandit shook everybody around. Oh my God, what is going on? So he began to actually put himself in the position of a sannyasi, how these sannyasis will go and beg door to door. And when he showed this mood of humility, he started to imagine himself in that position and became humble. And naturally, when he imbibed that mood, what happened was hair standard. These are the ecstatic symptoms we see, isn't it? Hair standing on the end, or tears rolling from the eyes, and then cry from the throat saying, Hari Bol. All this shook people around. Oh my God, what is going on? Who's this guy? Who's this person? Everyone was shaking. No one could understand anything. People's eyes were all on Nimai. Nimai this body was like Kadamba flower. Here Lochindas is taking Kadamba flower as an example. And if you understand, it's a very, very special flower that is covered with goosebumps of ecstasy. If you look at Srimati Radharani, she is also compared to Kadamba tree. These actually give these. So Nimai's body, if you look at it, he was showing signs of ecstasy, right? And the Brahmins who are present in the ceremony, they started discussing among themselves. Hey, who's this guy? What about him? What is happening to him? Who's this? Who he roared, Hari Bol. And what happened after he said Hari Bol? Our hearts all melted. It sank. And what is happening at this moment? We are not able to understand. We are not able to feel. What is going on? This boy has something special in him. We just are not able to understand what's the speciality of this boy, Nimai Pandit. They began to talk to each other. Suddenly, some involuntary thoughts came upon them. They came across this idea that Krishna comes in every yuga, right? They started to discuss amongst themselves. Oh yeah, Krishna, he comes every yuga, and he takes care of whenever the religion goes down, he comes and he restores religion. And then they began to reason, oh, is he God himself? Could he be the one who has come to actually restore the religion that is lost? What's going on? And some are saying, no, there's no avatar in Kali Yuga, like that. But again, the point that we need to understand is that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his humble humility, and when the initiation was given by his father Jagannath Mishra, and how he actually showed these ecstatic symptoms to the people around, helping them understand he's a special boy and he's no ordinary person. So this is the glory of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is being described by Lochindas Thakur in his Chaitanya Mangal. Now, I want to also talk about one other story that Chaitanya Mangal talks about, and it's a very beautiful story. So we need to understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the age of Kali to actually dispel darkness and give us a feeling of love by chanting this mantra. And this mantra, he has invested the potency of love from very beginning. So this potency, this Maha Mantra is definitely cannot be taken light. So we need to actually think that this is a treasure that is given. This is the biggest treasure we have got in our lives. And we have to actually be very, very fortunate that we have received this mantra in this parampara. And I would like to elaborate on the pastime. This pastime is very interesting, and I want you all to pay attention to this pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So again, it's Nimai Pandit. He was a very, very young boy. And this is from Adi Kanda, 2nd chapter of Chaitanya Mangal. So he was a very young boy. One day he went with his friends to the Ganges. There he saw a brood of puppies. there were several puppies, and these puppies, what they'll do, they'll all play in the dust because they like the dust and they like the dirty. They are like helpless puppies. I mean, obviously, they just love to enjoy. They don't care, oh, this is not clean, this is clean. And these children who went to the Ganges, they actually attacked them. They began to dismantle the puppies. They just said, oh, no, it's enough of you guys playing. We are going to take care of all of you. And then Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit, what did he do? He actually grabbed the most beautiful puppy amongst the lot. There were a group of puppies, but Nimai Pandit specifically picked up the most beautiful puppy. And the Lord brought this puppy to home. Can you believe it? And tied it to his chair. And Chaitanya and Sachi Mata is the mother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She was not in the house at that time, thank God. Having finished her household, she actually had gone to bathe in the Ganges with her friends. And using this opportunity, Nimai and his friends, they actually started to play with the puppy at home. They fondled it, they played some games with it, they rolled with it in the dust. Suddenly, the boys actually began to fight. Now, so one of the boys started to envy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Nimai Pandit, and he said, give me the puppy back, give me this puppy. Why are you not giving it to me? Give it, like that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nimai Pandit, he actually pressed the puppy to him and he began to hug. And he said, yeah, this is my puppy. You know, this is mine, my puppy, like that. And he began to cuddle it. Yes, you're my puppy. And one boy was terribly jealous of him. If you don't give your puppy back, I'll go and complain to your mother. You know what? That is what I'm going to do. But no, this is my puppy. I'm not going to give it to you. Do what you want. And then on his way, the boy actually found Sachimata returning from the Ganges. The boy, he started to cry. And in a voice choked with anger, he told Sachimata. What did he tell Sachimata? Hey, Mata, listen. Your son Vishwambara is now playing in the house with this puppy dog. And sometimes he cuddles it with his lap and sometimes he embraces that puppy. Go and see for yourself. Go to your house and see what all he is doing with this puppy. And then this boy ran and told Sachimata all this. You know, your son, your boy, he's the son of a Brahmana. He's from a Brahmin family. He took this dirty puppy and he's hugging him, he's kissing him, he's pampering him, he's rolling with him in the dust. What do kids, what do you think he's doing? Go and see your house. Your house is in a complete mess. You perform rituals, you perform some ceremonies there, you have a lot of deities there. And this boy is actually messing up with everything because this puppy is there. And now we all understand, what do kids do with the puppies? Whatever Mahaprabhu does is what the kids all do, isn't it? So Sachimata, on hearing this, she was so horrified. She ran and saw this Nimai playing with the puppy. And the little puppy, he fusses around. Sometimes the puppy crawls over him. Sometimes this puppy even licks Mahaprabhu. And sometimes the puppy salivates and falls on Nimai's body. That saliva actually falls on Nimai's body. Can you believe how fortunate is this puppy? Isn't it? This saliva of the dog is falling on Nimai's body. How glorious is this puppy? It's also licking him. Like Nashima Avatar, we know how Nashima Prahlad Maharaj, right? I just remembered that. So this is what this puppy did. Nimai was rejoicing. He's so much rejoicing. He's in the dust and he's enjoying his life completely with this puppy. And Sachimata, looking at all this, she was so horrified. Oh my God. And learning from his mother, Sachimata returned quickly and he, obviously she found Nimai playing and now she's telling Nimai, see Nimai, you have to understand your behavior. See, you can't take things for granted. See, you're now behaving in a weird way. You're a son of a religious father. What will people say if you're playing with this dog? This act does not suit a son of a Brahmin. It pains me to imagine how people will speak about you and our family. This is not at all good. What you're doing is not at all good. And Sachimata continued. She said, now, since she has scolded Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she wanted to pacify him now by saying, See, your form is so beautiful. What is the pleasure that you get by smearing your body with dust? What sort of pleasure you get? No, I have to bow my head in shame, wishing to die, seeing you in this condition. Your face is beautiful than millions of moons. Your body actually resembles fresh lightning. Instead of wearing your clothes, you smear dirt on your body and associate with these mischievous boys. These boys, they are so mischievous and you're associating with them. On top of it, you're having a puppy also. What is this? Your face is more beautiful than millions of moons. And look at your body. Your body is so bright and it's fresh like lightning. And instead of wearing some beautiful clothes and keeping it tidy, you are actually rolling in the ground. All this is not a good act at all, Nimai. That Sachin Mata started to actually fume in anger. And then she asked him to take the puppy to his room if he loved it so much. Getting enraged, she asked him to forget about his parents and continue playing with his dog instead. You play with the dog, don't worry about me. Like that, she said. And then, when Sachimata actually inquired Nimai to give the puppy to her, he said, no, it is my puppy. I'm not going to give it to you. It's my favorite. Like that. And then she told Nimai, okay, Nimai, see, you are very hungry. It's already late. You go, first of all, you have to tidy. You see, if somebody has to eat, he has to be tidy, isn't it? So she asked, Sachimata said, you go to Ganga, take a Ganga snan and come back and eat your dinner because you're hungry. I don't want you to wait any further. You have to, obviously cleanse yourself before you eat. So this is what Sachimata said. Then what happened? Nimai Pandit actually went to Ganges. He took bath, and then Sachimata said, "Your puppy is yours. It is definitely going to stay with you. But first, you go to Ganges before dinner and wash yourself and come back." Then now Nimai Pandit he tied the puppy properly and said, "I'll be right back." Sachimata untied this puppy and she actually let him go. And this boy who was watching everything, Nimai Pandit actually asked his friend to watch over this puppy. He tied it properly. He asked his friend, hey, look at this puppy. Take care of it. Let it be carefully taken care of. And this person, obviously when Sachimata untied the puppy, this friend couldn't keep quiet. He ran to Nimai and then he shouted, Nimai, your mother kicked out this puppy. Nimai, your mother kicked out this puppy. Now, knowing this, Nimai actually ran out of the Ganges screaming, yelling, roaring, where is my puppy? Where is my puppy? He ran home and the puppy was gone. He began to roll on the ground. His mother pressed him. He said, Nimai, your puppy just went for a walk. He's going to be back soon. Don't worry. Sit and eat. Sachimata actually wiped his tears and put him on the lap. She actually offered him bananas and other tasty dishes. Sachimata dressed his son so dearly. She tied the knots in his hair and painted his eyes with kajal, black kajal. Around his waist, she hung a beautiful red cloth and she stretched that up to the knees. She put a pearl necklace into the neck of Gaurang Mahaprabhu. And then sandalwood tilak adorned on his forehead. And then so many things she did. As a result of, just to pacify Nimai Pandit, she did so many things. Then, so what happened in between? People all saw this puppy somewhere. And suddenly several people gathered and they saw the puppy jumping. And it was actually shouting something. When they went and closely heard what this puppy was shouting, it was actually chanting the glories of the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The puppy also sang Radha Govinda. The puppy, touched by Nimai, felt this love because he had that love. Only somebody who has love can give love, isn't it? Nimai had that love. And that is why this puppy got that love. Everybody said, oh my God, this puppy is so fortunate. to get the association of Lord Gauranga. He developed this transcendental knowledge and he is able to sing the glories of Radha, Krishna, Govinda. And this puppy is also dancing in ecstasy. The people of Nadia pursued this dog, which manifested highest symptoms of transcendence. The puppy's hair stood on the end, and then the eyes remained filled with tears of divine love. All of a sudden, this fortunate soul abandoned the body of a dog and departed to the spiritual world, Goloka. A celestial chariot actually came to carry the soul to the destination. Such is the glory of this puppy, which was actually fondled and taken care of by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the golden aeroplane with jewels and pearls appeared, and again, those who are witnessing this, the Gandharvas, the Kinnaras, they all began to sing the glories of Radha and Krishna. Celestial aeroplane came. So now we need to understand that Krishna himself has come to give love to even the puppies, even to those who are worse than puppies. So this is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now Chaitanya Mangal, Lokchandas Thakur glorifies Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to say, all glories to Gaurahari, all glories to Gaurahari. He gives shelter to the shelterless. He is the best of all incarnations. By the mercy of this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the souls of Kali Yuga shall be delivered. What more wonderful pastimes you are going to reveal in the future? When will our bodies attain the same fortune and receive the mercy of your lotus feet? Simply by your touch, even a dog has attained salvation. We have not witnessed such mercies even in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So dog has also achieved salvation. Can you believe it? This is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has come to give love. He has come to distribute love freely to everyone. It's just due to the causeless mercy that we are able to come under the shelter of this parampara, who has given everything for us. This is the highest that one can have. And having understood the treasure, we have to value it. And we have to consciously start practicing Krishna consciousness in a way which is anukul. And I don't know what is the time. Okay, maybe I'll just talk a little bit about, now that we spoke about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can talk and understand a little bit about Lord Krishna and understand one minute, the other words. Yeah, so now we can understand about Lord Krishna. So he came late into Dwapar Yuga and in the border of between Dwapar and Kali Yuga, and he manifested his pastimes. This is Lord Krishna. So Brahma Samhita says that the spiritual world, every sound is a song and every step is a dance and every day is a festival. So Krishna has brought this eternal feast of the spiritual world where the love reigns and rules. Because again, if you look at the spiritual world, there's no management. Meaning, when there is love, management is not needed. Because in this material world, there is no love, and that is why there is envy. That is why management is needed. To manage all these problems, we need a management. Headache is there because people are envious. And Krishna showed us how one can live forever and forever be happy, isn't it? Sometimes we always think, isn't it? What is it to be eternally there? How Krishna actually explains how one can live forever at the same time be constantly happy. He told us the secret. What is the secret? The secret is love or prem. Only when we have this component and an ingredient will we be able to understand this eternity. Otherwise, what am I going to do for such a long time? What will I do? What is it there for me? And I feel uncomfortable if I'm going to be there eternally without this ingredient of love. If love is there, then everything is possible. Eternity will work. When there is no love, it's a boring life. What is there without love? So that is why every day Srimati Radharani, she sees Krishna and thinks, who's this? I have never seen such a beautiful young man, never. So every day she feels so fresh and new seeing Krishna. Every day new realizations come to her. Every smile becomes new. Every action becomes new. Every day becomes new for her. And nothing is boring because there is a component of love. So this is so beautiful, isn't it? Love can do wonders. Even in this material world, if you look at it, if you have a family which doesn't show you love, then it's in family, you'll be crying all the time. Yes, lamenting all the time. But when a family shows love to you, you feel so happy. You feel so enlivened. If your family can show some love to you, imagine how much Krishna and Radharani and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can show to you. Because Lord is reciprocal, isn't it? When we do a small act for Krishna, he reciprocates according to your mood. He reciprocates according to your desires. So we need to understand this concept of reciprocation and be able to shower the act of love. Oh, for Krishna, I'm able to do. So we should not actually force ourselves to do something, because that way we will become hard-hearted. What we have to do is do bhakti, and bhakti will take care of everything. It will naturally and organically happen to you. The act of detachment and whatever that is needed, it will naturally happen to you. So all we need to do is diligently follow through this process that is given by our acharyas and follow through it, and then everything else, the detachment, all others, knowledge, everything else will follow along. Now, I also wanted to explain one other concept. So specifically with regards to mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he begins to explain to you and me what true love is, isn't it? We are all unworthy of this, but then he begins to explain to us, oh, this is what Radha experiences in separation from Krishna. He comes to take her shelter. So this is the mood of Srimati Radharani, and how in separation she actually weeps for Krishna. She actually cries for Krishna. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his last lives in Gambhira, he was completely in tears, isn't it? That episode of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very hard for a devotee to actually read, because he's in such a separation mood. And he helps us understand what is this Vipralamba Bhav. This Vipralamba Bhav is separation, but again, this is how I feel. This is how devotee actually feels very, very happy, even though he's in separation, even though we see him crying. But this is the feeling where one is very, very happy internally. What is this contradiction? He helps us understand contradiction of love in separation. He helps us understand this mood, and he helps us understand how to actually chant the holy names in the right mood. The right mood is to actually chant the glories of the holy names of the Lord. The mood is that Prabhupada says we have to cry to Krishna. Separation from Krishna is the mood that he has taught us. And we need to understand that Trinadapi Sunichina has to be applied when we chant. So the right ego has to be established. The true ego is what needs to be established. And the false ego needs to go away, because that is how you can establish yourself in the right mood, which is the mood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is depicting to help us understand all this, isn't it? I was going to talk the story of Uddhava and actually help you understand, to show the contrast as to what Uddhava, how does he see each and every one. First he sees Nanda Maharaj, then he sees Yashodama, then he sees Radharani, and finally understands what mood Radharani was depicting and what love is all about. I wanted to explain this, but we are running out of time. So I will conclude with this. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for patiently listening through this episode of Chaitanya Bhagavat. And thank you, Preeti Vilasini Mataji and Vinita Gandharika Mataji, for giving me this opportunity to talk a few things about Mahaprabhu and his glories. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Radhika, Kasturi, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for such a power-packed class. It was very, very nice. I really loved the puppy story. It was really sweet to hear about how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so compassionate and how much mercy one can receive from Mahaprabhu. Definitely, we are very fortunate to be a part of this sampradaya and get all the mercy. So thank you so much, Mataji, for touching upon these beautiful verses. Thank you so much for your association also, Mataji. Very, very beautiful class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for the opportunity.
Hare Krishna, Radhika, Kasturi, Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for very, very beautiful class. And you started with saying that whatever we learn or read about Krishna, we love to share. We have to love to share, and then that's when you get more love of Krishna, and that we see in you always, Mataji. You love to share your Krishna conscious knowledge to everyone, and even if it is a call for 5 minutes, you love to share what you have read or what you came across. You hear a lot, you read a lot, and you share with all of us, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for explaining how the mood of a devotee should be and how it should not be, and also how the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra should be done, in what mood we have to chant. Everything was explained very beautifully, Mataji. As Mataji said, Papi's story was explained so beautifully, Mataji. Thank you. You have took from Chaitanya Mangal and Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is the main reason for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear, and also why he is in the form of a devotee. Why did he came in the form of a devotee? Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for detailed explanation. Very nice, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for your beautiful, wonderful realizations. Your attentiveness in your class is pretty much shown through the summary that you have given. And the summary actually helps not only me, but also, I think, everyone around. So thank you, Mataji, for your valuable realizations. Hare Krishna.
For the class, I open the forum for the question and answers. Please go ahead if anybody having any question.
Hare Krishna, Radhika, Kasturi, Mataji, Koti Koti Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. Mataji, I take only 1 minute because all Vaishnava wants to glorify your Shri Chaitanya Bhagavatam Katha. Mataji, you explain about the when Chaitanya Nimai Pandit is 9 years old, that time unki desire thi for taking diksha for initiation, and humble mood, so Lord Krishna came in a form of sannyasi to give a Krishna consciousness. जब भी every time जब भी लोग भगवान का नाम भूल जाते हैं, तो भगवान को कई फॉर्म में आते हैं, तो वो भगवान कितने हम्बल हो कि खुद वो हमें ब्रह्मचारी बन के, सन्यासी बन के कृष्णा कॉन्शियस देने आते हैं. Then you explain about the kadamba flower, but still we don't understand that this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji is Lord Krishna and Srimati Shri Radharani. That much fallen soul we are. And then you explain about the kadamba flower, and you compare kadamba flower tree, Srimati Shri Radharani is that is Mataji touch to heart, and Krishna come to every yuga, but we are very fallen soul that we don't understand that form, Mataji. Sometimes Lord Krishna, when we make a mistake, he came in a devotee form and he correct us. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's humble initiations given by the Jagannath Das Mishra in Chaitanya Mangal. Chaitanya Mangal, you explained from the Chaitanya Mangal, and pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Adi Leela 2nd canto, and Nimai Pandit, that beautiful puppy, Mataji. When we are in Shidham, Mayapur Dham, Maharaj is explained about the puppies. More than 4,800 Vaishnava are hearing, and that bhav you take us in a dham, and no different between Shri Vrindavan Dham and Shri Navdip Dham. There is no different. And then you explain about the every day is a new day for our family. When our family take Krishna consciousness and they love us, then we are so happy. So we have to think that Lord Krishna, Srimati Shri Radharani, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our Panchtattva, our Guru Parampara love us too much. That's why हमें जो एसोसिएशन के बिना के लोग हैं उससे दूर रखते हैं, जो नॉन वैष्णव है उनसे दूर रखते हैं. And there is our past karma that we are in a bhakti sangha, and the pillar is our first pillar is our Preeti Mataji, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, Radhika Kasturi Mataji, all Bhakti Sangha teachers, Vrinda's mother, and all are working hard. They teach us what should our mood to show Lord Krishna and Srimati Shri Radha and Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Shri Radha Gopinath. Thank you, beta. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam to your seva. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Mataji. And I want to definitely tell one thing. Vrinda Gopika Mataji is such a senior in this movement, but she always glorifies young and not qualified people like me. But she's glorious, because the act of humility is not just seen in this forum, but anywhere I go, Mataji's humility is seen. Very, very touched to heart, Mataji. Dandavat pranams to you and koti koti pranams to you. I don't think I will take your mood anytime. It's just, I don't know, Mataji. I feel so blessed to have your association, and just to be near you and feel this virtual association, I feel definitely blessed, Mataji. Hoping and praying that one day I develop your mood. Hare Krishna.
1 second only. Trunarapi Sunichena, you explained that sloka. Yesterday, I'm not able to take a painkiller, Mataji, because of heart disease, and my knee is terrific pain, and the surgery's date is given after 13 days. So Mataji, Bal Vrunda is singing Shishi Narsingha Kavach, that our Janvi Gopi is singing that Sisi Gopi Gita, and our Aji Sukheswari Mataji is singing Shishi Radha Astakam. So this is the effect of association of Vaishnava, कि material body कितनी भी तकलीफ दे हमें वो याद नहीं आती है जब we are in the association of all the senior Vaishnava association. कोई junior senior नहीं है. हमारी छोटी सी बाल वृंदा या जानवी गोपी इतने मतलब sincerely they teach us a lesson, Mataji. कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम.
Thank you so much, Mataji. We'll definitely keep you in our prayers, Mataji. Sorry to hear about that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is there anybody having any more questions for Mataji? Please go ahead. I see some comments on the chat. Parima Mataji, what a wonderful class. Haribol, you combined with Chaitanya Mangal so nicely. Thank you. Dandavat Pranam to you. Chinmayi Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, what a beautiful class. Thank you so much for giving us wonderful Gaurakatha. Shivani Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for very beautiful nectarian class. Shivani Mataji, thank you. Yeshumati Mataji, Hari Hari, what a wonderful class. Dandavat Pranam. Like the point about humility. Thank you so much. Is there any more realizations? Please go ahead. Okay, if there are no more realizations, we can close the call here. And once again, Mataji, thank you so much for such a beautiful class and nice association. Even though you're busy in the morning time, you have to go for the office, but still you give your time for the class. Thank you. I would like to offer my obeisances to Mataji and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindhu.
Namo Namah.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Radhika
Jai.
Mataji ki jai.
All glories to
Dandavat
Jai.
Pranam Mataji.
all glories to
Maharaj ki jai. Very wonderful, very wonderful.
Thank you, Kasturi
Mataji.
Mataji. Kasturi Mataji. Koti koti
Thank you
dandavat.
everyone for joining today's class. We'll meet tomorrow.